At the southernmost tip of the planet, behind walls of ice and raging winds, there's a continent unlike any other. It's a place that's not just on maps, but is etched in the dreams and ambitions of major world powers. Everyone thinks of it as a land of just ice and penguins, but the truth is, it's a vault of secrets and a treasure of resources, energy, and fresh water that's been locked for thousands of years. Today, we're going to dive into Antarctica, the continent no one lives on but the whole world wants a piece of. We'll find out why it's the strangest and richest continent, and who actually owns it. Just a heads up, before we get started, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you get all our new videos as soon as they drop. Most viewers watch our videos without hitting the like button. Please support us by liking and sharing this video. Antarctica is at the southernmost tip of the planet. It's a continent far from all other landmasses, surrounded by a frozen ocean in every direction. To reach it, you have to cross thousands of kilometers of frozen water. It's the furthest place a human can go on Earth. The size is so vast it's hard to imagine. It's bigger than Europe and bigger than Australia, with an area of 13,660,000 square kilometers. If you look at a map, you'll see its entire surface is covered in ice from one end to the other. The ice there isn't just a layer. It's an incredibly thick cover that in some places is kilometers deep. It's ice that has been building up for millions of years. Every winter, it expands to cover the sea. The weather there is harsh in a way that's difficult to comprehend. Fierce winds blow at speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour, and temperatures can reach -80 degrees Celsius. In the middle of winter, life is almost impossible. But despite all of this, the continent isn't a blank white space as many people think. It has resilient wildlife. There are penguins, seals, seabirds, whales, and fish under the ice. These are creatures that have adapted to the cold and isolation, living in one of the toughest environments on Earth. And there are also people, but not permanent residents. There are research stations from different countries. Scientists and researchers come in specific seasons to study the climate, ice, and wildlife, as if it were one giant laboratory open to the whole world. Even though Antarctica is a distant continent covered in ice, it was never far from the ambitions of major powers. From the moment ships reached its coasts, every country wanted to claim it. The first to arrive were sailors and explorers in the 19th century. They raised their country's flags on the frozen shores. The United Kingdom was the first country to declare its claim to parts of the continent. Then other countries like France, Germany, and Norway got excited and followed suit. Every country was claiming a piece of the continent. But the truth is, the harsh weather prevented the establishment of permanent colonies. The continent remained practically without official ownership, just claims on paper with no real presence on the ground. Over time, the ambitions began to grow. World War II made the world turn its eyes toward Antarctica. German ships appeared around the Southern Ocean, and there were rumors of military control and secret tests. Countries became afraid that the continent would turn into a war zone or a site for secret experiments. Chile and Argentina took advantage of Britain's preoccupation with the war and annexed parts of what Britain had claimed as its own. The conflict began to take on a new political shape. After all this ambition, the world had to find a solution. The continent could have turned into a battleground for war and a struggle over resources. In the late 1950s, the major countries met and agreed. The result was the Antarctic Treaty. It was signed in 1959 and entered into force a few years later. This treaty set clear rules. The continent is for peaceful purposes only. No military presence, nuclear testing, or secret bombs are allowed. All activities must be strictly scientific and research-based. The treaty also said that any country has the right to send scientific missions, on the condition that they keep the continent clean and leave no waste. This means Antarctica is to be a giant natural laboratory open to scientists from all over the world. After the treaty, many countries began building research stations there. Not just the countries that signed it, even countries that were not originally parties began sending missions. China, for example, built new research stations. The continent became a zone of international cooperation instead of a global conflict. Currently, the treaty is overseen by 54 countries. Of these, 29 countries have research on the ground and have the right to vote and make decisions, while the rest are non-consultative states that only attend meetings. The treaty stopped the public conflicts, but it didn't stop the ambitions. Beneath the thick layers of ice is an entire world of resources that no one has touched yet. Geologists say that this continent is a storehouse of very rare minerals. It has gold, silver, uranium, platinum, and coal, all stored deep within the ground. There are also signs of huge reserves of oil and gas. In addition, about 70% of the world's freshwater is frozen there in the form of rivers and ice mountains. Current laws prohibit any commercial mining, but most of the major countries are doing geological surveys and seismic research under the name of scientific studies. The truth is, they're creating maps for a future where the ice could turn into oil fields and mineral mines. Satellites are monitoring cracks and weak spots in the ice sheet. These are places that could be rich in resources. There are reports of companies drawing up plans on paper and writing feasibility studies. Everyone is waiting for the moment when the restrictions weaken or are modified. Countries aren't just stopping at research. There's a race to build new research stations in strategic areas. Every station provides a stronger political and scientific presence. Even countries that were not a party to the treaty have begun sending missions and requesting membership, as if they are reserving their seats early. The current treaty is like a temporary cover. It's what's preventing any commercial exploitation right now, but this cover has an expiration date and could change at any time. Many experts say that when the restrictions are lifted or eased, a race for these riches will begin. Companies and countries will compete for minerals, oil, and fresh water. At that time, the continent that has always been a land for science could turn into a stage for economic and political conflict. There are also huge environmental challenges. Global warming is affecting the ice. Ice shelves are cracking and breaking apart faster than before. Any new human activity would double these risks. Scientists are warning that the balance of the global climate is linked to Antarctica. Any melting of the ice there will change sea levels and affect all coastal countries. There is also a more optimistic scenario, that countries will continue to cooperate and maintain the scientific nature of the continent, and turn Antarctica into a global model for environmental preservation and joint work. In the end, the Antarctic continent isn't just ice and penguins. It's a frozen treasure full of secrets, and maybe one day we will discover a secret that will change our view of the entire world. If you enjoyed this journey into the depths of the White Continent, stay tuned for the next episodes where we'll dive together into other secrets of our amazing planet. Let us know in the comments what you liked most about today's topic. And if you have any strange topics or historical mysteries you'd like us to talk about, write them in the comments. If you're new to the channel, check out our previous videos. You'll find a lot of topics you'll like. And don't forget to support us by liking and sharing this video. We'll see you in the next video.